Hi, I'm
Hello.
Shelley Garwith, and I'm here with Georgia from SG Cacao, and I have brought on the founder, the maker, the all things expert when it comes to cacao, because I had an epic fail, and I had to ring in a favor with Georgia and be like, what the heck went wrong? So, let me tell you, I am a pro when it comes to making my own personal cacao every single day with SG Cacao. I've never had a problem. Then I decided to make it for a group. And, and not because of SG Cacao, I knew it wasn't the product. Because the thing is, the product works very well for me on the daily. Yet when I tried to make it for a group, I was well out of my depth and I was like, what has gone wrong? So I rang Georgia on the Monday when she asked me, how did your retreat go? How did the cacao go? And I'm like, great when I made it in the afternoon, terrible in the morning. So I'm clearly the problem, and we need to educate everyone because, as Georgia told me, I had it now looking back, the beauty of hindsight. I definitely made it two different ways when I was making it for a group and then making it individually. So now we've got the expert to tell you all the things to do and not to do. Thank you, Georgia.
You're welcome. So this is my little brand, and today we're going to show you. I'll give you a bit of a education on different ways that you can make it, but I make it a very, very easy way because I am a mum, and that's why we've made it shaved so that it's nice and easy for you to just use straight off the bat. You don't have to cut it up. It's ready to go. So there are instructions on the back of the new packets as well, which Shelley, you won't have seen. These are the new packets that are just launching, and they've got all your instructions on one way to do it. But actually, since making these packets, these packages, I've discovered an even easier way to do it. So these will change in the next round as well because we're all about efficiency. Um, so the first thing that I will show you are a few little add-ins that you might like to pop into your drink. We like them for various reasons, flavor being one, but they actually really do help the body as well. The first, I'll bring it over here. This is my little show and tell. So we have cinnamon. Cinnamon is one of my absolute favorites. It adds a beautiful flavor. It pairs so nicely with the cacao itself, but also it's just so fantastic for your blood sugar regulation. Shelley, you might want to add anything else to the cinnamon, but that is the main reason I like to use it.
Me too. And also, Georgia, there, do you use it like as the stick or as a powder?
I use it in the drink as a powder, so that's what I've
Perfect.
got there.
And
But
also,
also,
oh, you go.
sorry, you can use it as a stirrer. And that's a
That's
nice way to put it in if you want a bit of a lush moment. So that's why I've got the wee sticks here. They smell beautiful and they add like a gentle flavor to it if you're not particularly a fan of cinnamon. But I do like adding a wee sprinkle in there so that you get more of a hit.
And also, Georgia, just because you care, like you're so like SG Cacao looks at all the heavy metals. I think it's also really important to touch on this point now. Cinnamon, like spices, can also have a huge heavy metal load as well. So it's
Mhm.
really important, just for everyone listening, to make sure that you've got like an organic one that doesn't have heavy metals in it. Like I know me and you know that. But otherwise, you've got this beautiful product where you're testing it. And then they might be adding supermarket cinnamon, and then you're getting the heavy metals back in there anyway, which you've worked so hard to make sure we don't consume with your drinks.
Yep, absolutely. So this is the one that I go for. It is in the supermarket, but it's a good option for you. It's Mrs. Rogers cinnamon sticks. These are the organic ones. And there are two different types of cinnamon. So this is the cassia variety, which has got, as far as I understand, more of the Ayurvedic sort of properties to it, spicier as well. So that's the one that would be in chai.
Cool.
Yep. Then we've got cardamom. Cardamom again, it comes in little pods. And this is what I would use if I was making a larger batch. The way that I do it is I crush it and then I pop it in the pot so that it sort of steeps with everything else. And then you've got more of a an opportunity to take it back out. If I'm doing this just in a mug, you could grind them, but it's quite a powerful flavor. So I prefer just crushing the pods, popping it in, and then scooping them out once it's done. I
Perfect.
actually don't know what I add them in for flavor, but I know that there's some properties in there. Would you like to explain those, Shelley? Because I'm
Well,
lost for words there.
do you know though? I knew you were gonna pick on me to do that, and I was
Yeah.
like in a good way because that in chai. So I but as you're asking me that though, I don't actually 100% know the properties. I know it from a like when you're eating it.
Yep.
Does that mean so if you're eating the actual because there's parasite like it's good like that's why that
Good
it
chewing.
yeah
Yep.
and so for your digestive system so if you so I know that when it comes to chewing or adding it to food but
Yep.
when you've just taken the taste from it Georgia which is effectively what you're doing
Yeah.
actually know the benefits. Is the
Okay, cool.
honest truth. Yeah, I know because I was like, as you were telling me, Run, I was like, she's about to put me on the spot, and I'm
Yeah.
like, other than taste,
No.
I'm like, because I do know when you cook with them, like when I cook in, like I
Yeah.
purposely cook with them for like Harvey, my son, and you would too. For the like parasitic benefits, the
Yeah.
digestive benefits, the stomach acid, like all of those benefits. But when you're not eating the actual spa, like we're just getting the flavor from it. I don't know what it does other than flavor.
Well, you crush them and they go in there. So I suppose that you're just getting them in a small amount. You could just leave them in there as well. So
Yeah,
if
if
you
you leave them
go
in there.
properly, leave them in. Yeah,
Yeah,
you just have a bit of a chew and it's a
yeah,
really nice flavor.
yeah.
I also add a bit of salt. So I would either use a Celtic salt or this is a good old Himalayan sea salt or Himalayan salt.
Georgia, is a Celtic salt too strong?
I don't find it as I just put a little bit less.
Okay,
I
cool.
really like it because I actually like the way that it pairs with the cacao, particularly when I add in if I'm making more of a sweet like comforting brew, in which case I would also add in coconut sugar. So
And
that's my favorite as far as sweeteners go. It's got a lovely caramelly flavor to it. It's not going to spike your blood sugar too much, particularly when you pair it back with the cinnamon. And you only need a little bit just to sort of make it a bit more rich. It's not really the sweetness that we're going for more than the flavor enhancing with it. And that's why the salt comes in and actually balances it out really nicely. So you can tend to add a little bit less sugar when you add a little bit of salt as well, because it brings all the flavors together.
and Georgia, do other people put like maple syrup or maybe agave? Like,
Yeah, agave, maple syrup. Some people put honey. If you're doing honey, I would recommend doing that once you've kind of cooled the brew down a little bit because you don't necessarily want to have honey particularly hot, just for a range of reasons. There's so many beneficial bacterias to the honey itself that you kind of want to, or beneficial things for your gut. It's not necessarily
yeah,
bacteria.
no, it's
Um, yeah. So you want to make sure that you're protecting those and you're not heating it.
and
Um,
Georgia, do you have it ever with no sweetener? Like no
yeah, I
coconut?
do.
Okay, me
I
too.
often have it with no sweetener at all. The beauty about this cacao from Papua New Guinea is it's such a gentle flavor. It's
That's what
really,
it's so, and I find it really quite sweet on its
yeah,
own. Like you've got a really beautiful, I don't find it bitter at all.
no,
Like
yeah,
I find it personally quite sweet in a good way. And I find it quite rich and flavorsome. Like in
yeah,
rather than some other cacaos, can sometimes find a bit earthy or kind of dirt, like that sort of I guess earthy taste. Rather,
yeah.
this I find quite, in a good way, quite sweet. I definitely find a difference between your cacao, like coming from Papua New Guinea, and different other countries.
Yeah, definitely. And that is why this one is such a lovely entry point and why we've done this one first. The plan is to have lots of different varieties so that people can choose what they
Oh.
prefer and they will have a different mineral profile, which is why we do the independent testing so that we can tell you what's in it.
And
The
Georgia, why'd you pick Papua New Guinea to begin with?
flavor, the flavor. I tried lots of different ones and my feeling was, for a start, I love sourcing from the Pacific. The partners that we work with do a lot of work on the ground in the Pacific, and I love their story and how they are bringing a lot more awareness to the farmers' lives and what actually goes into making the cacao. So that was the first piece. I love how close it is to New Zealand as well. I really do feel like we need to be eating as close to home in our own backyard as we can, and the Pacific regions are where we're going to get the cacao that is the closest. And then aside from that, because there's Vanuatu,
Yeah.
Fiji, Solomons, Samoa. There's lots of different Pacific regions, and I've tried them all. But what I found with the Papua New Guinea is it's the easiest entry point. You really don't have to sweeten it, as you say, and it's the most chocolatey. As
Wow.
far as the cacaos that I've tried, it has the truest chocolate flavor to it, and the mouth feel, and just how it melts. It's kind of a beautiful alternative to chocolate, which I think is really nice for people to be able to make that switch without it being like quite a stretch and then having to put in a lot more sugar and all the rest of it, because then you're kind of defeating the purpose.
And
Yeah.
Georgia, do all of our Pacific, like I didn't know this, and I talking to you just now, do all our Pacific Islands around New Zealand have cacao, like
No,
grow
not
cacao?
necessarily. It's a very narrow band around the equator that they can grow cacao. It goes down as far as far north Queensland, and there's a rainforest there, Daintree Rainforest, and they do actually grow cacao there. But it's a very narrow band around the equator, very similar to coffee, actually.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it needs to have quite a specific growing condition to be able to actually, yeah, grow the cacao. It needs to be very warm and tropical.
And then do your, because I know you've got the label in the back, does Papua New Guinea have different minerals in their soil that you know of? I'm not expecting you to necessarily know that answer, or was it just straight the flavor of it?
It was the flavor. I really liked, actually, what drew me to it was the heavy metal testing. It's very, very clean.
Yeah, that's what I
Very,
wondered.
very, very clean. What I have seen from the heavy metal testing than a lot of the varieties out of the Amazon. The mineral profile is typically a little bit less as well from what I've seen. That's not to say that it's necessarily that with all batches or even all farms, and different growing conditions are going to produce different things. But from the primary reason for me was the flavor, because I wanted this to be as accessible to everyday mums actually, because my whole journey with this has been to heal postpartum depletion, and that's why I gravitated towards the cacao in this first instance.
And like Georgia, for me as a practitioner, like I tell everyone to drink cacao. I
Mm.
same for energy. And when we talk about like how we both put protein and fat, and like it could be a meal
Yeah,
in itself, like for
it
busy
can.
moms like me and you, on the go, on the road,
Yeah.
walking, driving, like whatever we're doing. And so we're big fans of it. And so, but for me, the downside, and this is why I love yours and recommend it to all my clients. So there's the brain benefits and the focus for cacao, like using cacao in your brain health, absolutely. And then I use it for like minerals of magnesium, like getting clients to get more magnesium into their bodies. But a real downside that a lot of people don't know, and it kind of came up in the media maybe a year or two ago, cacao has heavy metals. Like on the whole, a lot of brands are testing very high for their heavy metals. And so for me as a practitioner, it's been really hard because I know about the brain benefits and the health benefits and the ease of cacao. But equally, I'm like, but if I'm recommending a brand that has high heavy metals, I'm actually undoing all those good benefits. And I'm now getting a client to daily inhale, like literally for some of them, some mums will be inhaling such a load of heavy metals.
Yeah.
And I don't think around the world enough people, like producers like you, manufacturers, are actually talking about the heavy metals. And this is why I love your brand, Georgia, is you've gone above and beyond to actually test it for us as the consumer.
hmm Yeah, well, it's important. It's important to know that what you're drinking is going to be safe for you. And the partners that we work with are really mindful of this as well. A big piece comes down to the growing conditions, and how those farmers are rearing the plants. So in where we work, our partners are making sure that those farmers are supported so that they can adhere to the practices they always have, and also are being paid fairly so that they don't have to go into mass production, because
Yeah,
it's the mass production that becomes the issue. So, if we're paying what we should, which is why it's not cheap, it is a higher end item that you would have, but it is so mineral rich and it is so beneficial to your body. So if you kind of break it down, it's about $3 a cup with this, which is not
actually
bad.
really cheap. That's
Yeah,
really
it is.
cheap.
It's
And
really affordable.
especially if it's, I'm not saying do this, but let's be honest, busy mums are 100% doing this, and I've done this. If it's a meal replacement from time to time, that's a very cheap meal.
Shit here. Excuse me. But no, it is. Like I would put this with protein powder, and that's something I'm gonna have for
That's
today.
what I
But
mean.
yeah,
Like,
100%. Protein powder. The other thing is maca.
oh
So
yeah.
this is mine's gone a little bit. I haven't kept the what's it called? The little sachet that keeps things all
Oh
nice
yeah,
and
we
nice.
won't
I haven't
judge
kept
you.
that in there. Yeah, so mine's gone a bit clumpy, but the maca that you can put with it is just another benefit in terms of your hormonal health and all of the other vitamins and minerals that you're getting from the maca. So you can go maca, cacao, bone broth protein, bit of salt, bit of cinnamon, bit of cardamom, collagen powder if you want to really beef things up, bit of MCT oil, and basically you've fed yourself, which is amazing.
And Georgia, we're
Yeah,
both busy mums, so let's be honest, we've done it. Like,
yeah.
and you've even heard me on like
Cacao or no food.
some days, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just, and at least when you know it's hitting all the spot, like you're balancing your blood sugar, you're getting your minerals, you're getting great brain health. And I have to admit, when I'm doing like intense work, no matter what time of the day it is, whether I've had one or two of them already, I will definitely go and make an SG cacao because it really does help my brain focus and I can like really do a lot more detailed creative work after having a cacao. Definitely, I definitely notice a difference with my brain for sure.
Me too. And if a mum is following more of a ketogenic diet, it's not going to throw them out of that because there's no carbohydrates in there. So you just got to be careful about the sweetener that you're adding, which is why it's so nice to have one that you actually don't have to sweeten at all.
Yeah,
There is no sugar in here at all. There's no carbohydrates, or there's less than zero point 0.1 gram of carbohydrate
I'm
per
guessing you
serving.
have to write that, right? It's probably
Yeah,
mandatory.
no, that was the testing, less than zero point
Yeah.
0.1. So sugars is less than zero point 0.5 grams per 100 grams, which
Um,
is nearly undetectable. Um,
Georgia, do you have a limit? Like, is there a limit of how many of these a day you can drink?
well, when I was at my point of finding cacao, I suppose, in the journey, I was drinking it until I felt okay. And that was
Energy
probably about,
wise.
yeah, energy wise, and just I was pretty depleted. This is long before I met you, Shelley. So I prolapsed a disc in my back. I was in a lot of pain, and I was basically craving chocolate, like really craving it. And I think for the comfort as
How did
well.
you first discover cacao? Like, because obviously you're just telling us that you're like,
Yeah.
Dubai, but how did you know about cacao, Georgia, to begin with?
I had recently had a cup at I think it was Sale GP, and there was She Universe there and they were making cacao and I had one and I thought this is nice and it's not sweet. And I thought, shit, I know of cacao because actually, until someone asked me not long ago when was the first time I had cacao, I would have been probably about 5. Maybe,
Five,
yeah.
little.
Little, yeah. My mum made it for me. So she bought this cacao that was like in a disc from Pico Foods all the way back
All the
then.
way back then.
Yeah, all the way back then. And she made it instead of making us Milo, she made us cacao. And we have Milo as well. But she, on this occasion, decided she wanted to try this. And it was so yummy. And she put a little bit of cayenne pepper in there as well. And we all really like spicy food. And she was on a bit of a health kick. And that's why the butterfly's there.
For
That's
your
my mum.
mum. I knew your mum had influenced it, but I didn't realize that that was from it.
I didn't actually realize that that was from it either until I was asked, and this is after I had done all of this. And then I was like, oh shit, it was actually mum all the
Wow,
way back then.
Georgia.
So yeah, I was just drawn to it, and there must have been something in my mind that was like cacao, cacao, cacao. And I think, I mean, the body is incredibly intelligent,
Agree.
and my belief is it was craving the magnesium.
Me
It
too.
really
Like,
wanted magnesium and it wanted it in a bioavailable way that was going to deliver it in a manner that was going to have me relaxed so that I could
totally.
actually absorb it. And that's exactly what making a cacao does. It puts you into a parasympathetic state because you start the ritual. And that is to me the ceremony of cacao. It's the intention and the ritual that goes into making yourself a little moment in time and why I've done it shaved because I don't want to take any further time away from a mother that just needs a fucking break.
And it just makes sense because you're doing it. Like, why not do it for us?
Yeah,
That was one of the things that annoyed, like, that's why when I remember I'd never even asked you when I first ordered, like, what it came in, if it was going to be a block. But I remember opening the bag with such relief and being like, oh, I don't need to do anything. Like, I actually remember, Georgia, like, I literally put my hand into the bag because I was so excited and picked up all the flakes and was just like, oh, this is so good.
so easy. Yeah. It's
Like,
so easy and it melts so easily. Just
oh,
everything about it makes it so easy,
oh,
which is what we want.
totally. So, Georgia, will you in the future add things to the bags? Like,
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got a few recipes coming so that it's going to make it even easier.
that's
And
why I
I've got
was asking.
tiers as well, so that there'll be little different things that you can put together. I'm not going to give too much away. But basically a scoop of this and a scoop of that, you've got yourself a drink, essentially.
Perfect. Now, Georgia.
What? Just single serve, everything's in the one.
Oh, even because then you can put it in your handbag, and then you just need
You
to.
can take it on the run, just bit of hot water, whiz it, off you go.
And do you have handheld whizzes for us if we're taking it on the run?
I will have. This is not one of them. This is one from another lovely brand that I enjoy, but there will be ones like this coming, but with a double whisk probably, so
Oh,
that it's a little bit
double.
more. Yeah, it just keeps it down in the cup.
It does.
Um,
I
yeah, which is what you want.
Georgia, will you tell us how to make them and the epic fail that I did on the how I did it wrong?
Yes. So, Shelley probably heated it a little too hot, we think, possibly. So,
Oh no, we definitely know you're being nice, Georgia.
yeah, it was a bit hot. So when you're making it in a pot, if you're making it for a large group, typically you'll make it in a pot.
Yep.
And to be fair, you didn't do anything wrong because some people like that flavor profile and there's nothing wrong with that. And the other thing that's really beautiful about when you do boil it is it does emulsify everything together so
What
that
does
you
that mean for people that don't know what emulsify
yeah.
means?
It brings the water and the fat molecules together. So you get a really silky mouth feel and you don't get sort of like there's no separation that you see so much, but it does change the flavor profile quite a lot.
Yep.
So what I have found best way to do if you're making on bulk is you put all your ingredients into the pot and then you put boiling hot water that you've boiled from the jug over top. Leave it for literally 10 seconds and then whisk it. You can either do it with a whisk or one of these, or ideally like a egg beaters is what I think is best because, and just on a low setting, because what I have found when you put it in the high pressure blender, which I've got on the back here, very delicious for the first few mouthfuls, but then you'll notice that there's a bit of separation
Yeah,
between
there definitely is.
yeah,
Because even before our call just now, I did the high. I couldn't find my
the
hand
high,
mixer,
yeah.
so I
And
did
that
the extra bullet, and it does separate. I
it
agree.
does separate, which
Yeah,
is fine because it's really nice. You get like real chocolatey thickness on top, and then you
yeah.
get like a more watery drink underneath, which is still really delicious. And you can just stir it back together, and it's perfectly fine. Fine. But what I find with doing it this way is the consistency stays
I,
right the way through the cup. Yeah, so it's not as thick on the top, but it's also not as thin on the bottom. So
got
you
it.
get more of like a uniform brew.
And
So
also, Georgia, I'm just going to point out because it's subtle the mistake I made, and like we both agreed, it's up to taste preferences. What Georgia's just described was adding from. You can see her jug in the background. She was like, "Oh, Georgia." When I was talking to Georgia about it, we were debriefing my cacao fail. We she was like, "Boil the water." What I did was I put all the ingredients in with Luke. I boiled it on the stove top.
yeah.
So I bought it to boil that way. And it sounds really subtle. I understand that. Like even as George is describing it now, I'm like, it's really subtle, but the flavor is really quite different. Like to the point
Yeah.
that people in the morning they were polite, like they were being nice, like but by the afternoon everyone was like, which is what I was expecting. Like I was so proud of myself and I love George's product so much. But the reaction in the afternoon was, oh, this is so delicious. This is so creamy, which also alluded me to being like, what did I do different in the morning? And it was literally that subtle. I put everything in the pot, walked away because I was trying to be time efficient as I was getting the day ready, and I left it 100% as Georgia described for way too long and way too hot.
Yeah, and it basically it changes the flavor so that it tastes less chocolatey
Yeah,
and it tastes a bit more planty, which is
definitely.
it's nice, but you don't maintain that lovely chocolatey velvetiness that you get. Like you can eat this straight from the packet and it tastes like 90% Lindt chocolate, really, because Lindt
I
chocolate is
agree.
quite bitter, and
Yeah,
that's why they have to add the sugar in. Where this is just beautiful, beautiful, very high quality cacao. You can actually make chocolates out of this, which I will show how to do later. You just melt it and put a little bit of coconut sugar, bit of coconut oil, and then pop it in the fridge, and they solidify, and they're so good. Raw chocolates, so easy. So
Georgia,
this,
do you have a mold for the chocolates
yeah, I do. Yeah.
on your shop?
Oh no, no,
Oh, you
just
should.
get the spotlight. I know I should.
Yeah, just saying.
Spotlight's good.
Yeah, but that's another car trip. I'm
No,
just thinking, oh my
another thing
gosh.
down the. I'd like to do butterflies. Have you ever tried
That's
those?
what I was thinking. That'd be so beautiful.
Yeah, I've been testing a few molds, but it's the little when you need to get one without those because they break off and they're a pain.
Yeah, too
Anyway,
easy.
here and now, shall we do a cacao?
Yes, please.
Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it in a glass so you can kind of see the ratios, and then
Cool.
I'll pour it into my mug. Um, I have scoops, and I have neglected to bring a scoop with me, which I'm annoyed by. Do you have one of my scoops, Shelley?
Oh yeah, but in the
Don't worry about it.
yeah,
There's
I'm
scoops
like
that you can get, and they've got a clip, and they're wonderful. So
they're
that's a
really
tablespoon.
beautiful.
They're really handy, and they clip onto the packet. They are a tablespoon, so it's
Oh,
about
okay,
20
cool.
grams. Yep, in there, and you can use two. No, they're about 15 grams. Sorry, so two of them is a 30-gram serving. I say use about 20 grams, 20 to 30 grams. 30 is going to give you a really therapeutic dose of the cacao. It's going to really raise up your magnesium quantity in there. And also, it's just going to be a little bit more thick and velvety. So today, I'm actually so excited about this. I haven't had a cacao yet. Um,
Oh, it's late. How have
I
you
know. I
lasted?
know. I'm
But
coughing.
also, side note, very impressed that Georgia's in a white top as she makes the cacao for us live. Just
See how this goes. I could be a brown top very soon. Anyhow, so this is the cacao. You can see it's in
Mhm.
like powdered-ish form.
Yep.
So I will take about two of those scoops. I'm going to top it because I
Okay, good.
like it like that. And then
Is there a minimum, Georgia, that you should put in?
20 grams.
Okay, that's the minimum.
I think 20 grams. I mean, you can do less. You
Of
definitely can do
course,
less.
but from a taste point of view that you
From
reckon.
a taste point of view, I think 20 grams because like you want it chocolatey. Some
Perfect.
people like it with 10 if they want it. If you find it a really strong flavor profile and you want to just take it down, just do 10 and pop a bit more of your preferred milk in there if you want to.
Cool.
So there's lots of different options for it. It pairs beautifully with coconut cream, and I don't like it with almond
I was
so
going
much.
to
I mean,
answer
I stay
that.
well away from anything seed or myself,
Same.
but some people like it with oat milk. It's got sort of a sweeter flavor. I don't particularly like that. Um, Coconut milk is my favorite. You can do it with a good clean dairy as well. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
if you like it that way. And then I'm going to do collagen. So usually I would use a Designs for Health one because it's a
Hey,
really
I
there you go.
bought, I knew you'd, I
That
was
one.
like, I'll do the demo for you.
I've just finished that one. So I
Because
have this
we've talked about it. So I was like, it was
one.
very on brand for Georgia. I
It
did
is.
that without you even telling me, Georgia. I was
Thank
like, I'll
you.
just put that beside my computer in case she
You can
needs to.
buy that from Shelley. She's still closer. Um, and then, so I'm going to do about two of those, which is teaspoons. And do a bit of cinnamon. And I'm going to do a good pinch of sea salt as well. This is my little favorite thing in the world, and this is an organic. You can't get it from too many places, but if you can find one, it's bloody brilliant because it means you don't have to open a can of coconut cream all the time. This is coconut cream powder,
Where
and
did you get, what's the brand of it?
I think it's called Wichity. I get it from Liberty Markets. It's an organic one.
Is Liberty
Um,
Markets Christchurch?
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah. But you'll be able to, I think it's called Wichity, or Witchy, Wichy, something like that.
Oh,
But just look up organic coconut cream powder. What I find with this, because
that's
it's got all the good, it
genius.
is, and it's got all the good fat in there still.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it helps emulsify everything really beautifully, and it gives just an extra creaminess to it.
that's
And then you can
delicious.
control the amount that you're having if you're worried about calories, which some people are.
Totally.
So I just do about a teaspoon of that. And then I'm going to put a bit of my maca. This is a good old Salino Health one. They do beautiful maca. They do
Yeah,
beautiful
they do.
cacao as well. So that goes in there. And then
Do you ever add vanilla essence, like a
I
organic?
do, yeah, I
I do
do
like that.
often add, I don't have any today. I like to do like the little vanilla potty ones.
Uh-huh.
That's beautiful. That makes it very luxurious and delicious. So that's a really nice addition. Just pop a bit of that in. And then this is an MCT oil,
I
which
like that brand too. Melrose
yeah,
is a good brand.
it's a good organic one. You can
Yeah.
actually get it from the Chemist
I
Warehouse.
know you guys, that's why I also like it because it's so accessible for people.
It
But it's
is.
actually like Melrose has been around, I feel like forever. I'm gonna say forever. Um, but they're just a good company, like a good organic, wholesome, like I can't find anything wrong with them. If that, which is rare these days, and they've been around for ages, but their MCTO is really good.
Well, this is a good collagen, as in, well, I think it is anyway. This is the Neutral Organics one. I don't like their gummies that they make for the kids because they taste really foul and fake. But this in here has got the same collagen that the Designs for Health has. One of them, one of the profiles. So you don't get all three. This one's got Fort Gel, which is for bones. And then it's got another few little bits and pieces in there as well, which is quite good. So
Is
I
that
like this
why
as an
you
alternative.
is that why you use them both, Georgia? Because they've got slightly different. Because you're right, this one has three different ones in it.
That one's got three, and this brand uses the three different ones, but in different products of theirs.
Products, agreed.
Yeah,
But then
and
what
so
extra do they put into there that this one doesn't have?
they've also got sea algae,
Oh,
white,
okay. Extra
yeah,
minerals.
extra minerals, and white button mushroom extract. That's all. Those are the three. So it's quite good. And then the other one that they have, which I think is called Beauty Collagen, has vitamin C as well.
Yeah, it
So
does.
it's a nice alternative if you run out of the other one because
Got
it's
it.
again Kim's Warehouse. So
Oh,
good.
I didn't know Chemist Warehouse had them.
Yeah, that's why I got it because I was stuck.
Perfect.
Not going to arrive in time.
Yeah.
And your MCT. So I do, that was probably just over a teaspoon because I'm used to it.
What
Did you
should
have
you
any?
start off with? You did a teaspoon of MCT or a tablespoon?
I would have done it would be just over a teaspoon, metric teaspoon, but it's because I'm used to it. So
Hmm.
it's probably about 10 grams and then probably a dessert spoon. For most people, well, it depends how you tolerate fat. You want to be careful with this because it can make you shit through the
Agreed.
eye of a needle.
That's why I was checking how much you've done. Not that there's anything, I'm not telling Georgia off for how much she's done, but I wanted to preference that too. Because I've definitely had clients do like a dessert spoon or a tablespoon straight off and
Yeah,
like
100%.
literally be running to the toilet. Like I'm allowed to talk about toilet, Georgia, because it's all day, every day, shitting themselves, like, not happy. And all of a sudden your luxurious cacao is no longer luxurious. So if you haven't used MCT oil before, yeah, just tiny, maybe like 1/8.
Half a teaspoon even.
Yeah,
Yeah, quarter.
definitely. Yeah, and then you can, as you build more tolerance or you see how your body's feeling from it. And when we say feeling from it, it's things like feeling bloated, feeling like you really need to go to the toilet, rushing to the toilet, a real full feeling. Like people will experience like a heaviness when they can't digest fats properly, or even a nauseousness feeling at points for people. So any of those types of feelings, or that like loose stools, like really needing to go to the toilet and continuously needing to go to the toilet, it's not bad. Like obviously MCTO is doing no harm. It's just something to be mindful of if you haven't had like these days, as you were doing that, I was like, oh yeah, like I just clump in like a tablespoon or something. Especially because if you're being a little bit sneaky and using it as a meal replacement, I definitely up the fats when I know that like, it's going to be a few hours between meals. But just start off slow and steady. That's where we're going with this.
Slow and steady wins the race. You don't want to win
Definitely.
the race. And then I'm going to do a teaspoon of coconut sugar today because I want something a little bit more yum yum. And then, so I've got hot water there. What I will do is I will just cover it slightly, like a bit,
Oh, yeah.
and then with it. And the reason I do that is because you
Ah,
don't want it to go everywhere.
smart, Georgia. I would have had it going everywhere and be swearing under my breath.
And it's nice to be able to see where you're at as well in terms of
Definitely.
the mixing. So you just keep it going until it looks silky, basically. Here we go. starting to look really silky and luxurious.
Yeah, and it's starting to look really like that deep, dark, rich color that I
Yeah,
love. Yep.
deep dark velvety, and
Yep.
you can smell all the beautiful cinnamon. And then got a decent sized cup there. Then I just top it up to about what my cup volume is. I can probably put a bit more in there and give it another wee whiz like that. And that
I was
just,
trying to work out what the humming sound was, Georgia. I was like, gosh, my computer's breaking. It's the
oh, sorry, I didn't show you that.
no, no, but I
So
was
that's basically how it is. I'll show you when I pour it. It's got like that lovely, rich
yeah, it
creaminess.
does.
Yeah. And it's just
Yum,
really
Georgia.
beautiful in there. And that's,
And so basically, if you're making it for a group, you do the exact same thing, right? You just probably have it in a pot or something so you can get more in at the same time, but it's
that's
exactly
right.
the same process.
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn, that's good. And the salt, the salt, I think, really, really makes it.
Me
So I
too.
don't put that much sugar in there, and it's just enough. So what you could do at this point, if you wanted to make it real fancy, is you can stir it with your cinnamon stick, which is quite nice because then when you suck it, it's got that little bit of extra.
Mhm.
You can actually drink it through your cinnamon quill if you wanted to.
And also, Georgia, I do this. Do you add some of the shaves again back on top?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. If I want to, if I'm really lushing it up.
Yeah, if you want to lush it up and put a bit of extra, you definitely can, and it just melts on top and gives you even more of that like chocolatey hit
You
as you
know, if you're wanting like a desserty feeling, do you ever put like freeze-dried berries or anything like that on top?
I haven't, but that would be yum, like raspberry.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did do something good at the retreat day, Georgia. I
yum.
put them on top, and it was that real like dark chocolate, just the fruit, like the organic,
Yeah,
like beautiful ones, and just put them on top, and it was that real sweet and bitter taste, and it
yeah.
was just like dessert.
Yum. That sounds so
Mhm.
good. You can do so much with it. It really is a very, very versatile product. You can bake with it, you can cook with it. I often put a tablespoon into my bolognese if I'm
Oh,
making
your
a bolognese sauce.
bolognese.
Yeah, a bolognese sauce because there's no sugar. So you're not putting chocolate in. It's rich. It gives an added depth
Oh.
to the profile of it. And because you're cooking in a savory way, it takes on the savory flavor.
Smart. Do you ever put it into soups?
Yeah, you could, depending on the soup. Obviously, you want it to be like if you think about bolognese, it pairs beautifully with tomatoes.
It does.
Yeah, because it's got that sort of like, I don't know, it just gives a depth to the flavor. Stews, curries, all of that kind of stuff, amazing for that.
Oh.
Just chuck a tablespoon in there. You're adding good fats in, you're adding minerals in, you're deepening the flavor profile of your dish. It's like you start eating it and it's like it's been sitting for, you know how curry gets better after a day or so?
Yeah.
Like it's already got that going on. It kind of brings everything together, and it doesn't taste like you've put cacao in it necessarily. It just tastes deeper and richer.
That's a
Yeah,
genius idea.
amazing with meat, and a lot of chefs will often use like 70 to 90% chocolate in their cooking.
You're
Yeah.
right. Like I've definitely heard chefs talk about that before, but I've never thought to
Yeah.
do it myself.
Yeah, and you can do it with a cacao. It's so nice. Just chuck it in there.
And then
Especially if you've got
Georgia,
picky kids.
huh?
Especially if you've got picky kids, because
So
spaghetti
smart.
bolognese is such an easy one for kids. And when you've got the cacao in there, they're getting magnesium, and that can sometimes be really tricky if they're not a child that eats a wide range of foods, which I
Absolutely. Absolutely. Georgia, though, how do we make our chocolate? You better not leave them hanging for their chocolate.
I might have to. I'm going to do a whole thing on that. With your chocolate, you want to heat it in a double boiler. So you would do
What's a double boiler mean?
a double boiler means that you've got the water in a pot
Oh, and then above
bowl
it.
and then a bowl on top.
Yeah,
So you want that because you don't want this to be on the direct heat, you'll burn it.
got it.
So you need that to be, I usually use a small pot and then I just put a glass bowl
Okay,
on top of it. Yeah. And
got it.
then pop your cacao in there. You can do, depending on how many molds you want to fill, you do probably about quarter to a half a cup of cacao and just do it like a little amount. Um, Actually, yeah, so this is one of my favorites that I do. I will use almond butter and coconut oil and mix that together with a bit of salt and have that ready to go first. And then I make the cacao up. So I melt that down, put a little bit of coconut sugar, and the coconut sugar won't melt fully, and it's actually really nice because what it does is it's a little bit crunchy when it sets. So you do about quarter of a cup, quarter to a third of a cup of the cacao, depending on how many molds you have, probably about, say, a tablespoon of coconut oil, not MCT, actual
Oh, yeah,
solidified
I was
coconut
wondering that
oil.
like this.
No, yeah, that one, because you need that for it to solidify.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for is the solidifying of it and the mouthfeel. And then you can pop your probably about a tablespoon of the coconut sugar and just mix that around. So melt the cacao first and the coconut oil together and mix that until it's all lovely and melted and silky. Add the sugar in and give it a good mix up. And then half fill your molds. Pop that in the fridge for probably about 10 minutes. Doesn't need long until it's solid. And then drizzle your almond butter in. Pop that back in. Let that set. That will take a little longer. And then bring it back out and put the cacao on the top to seal it up. And I often put like a quarter of a date in the middle of them.
Oh, Georgia, all as I want to know is at your, are we calling it a detox space? I call it des with your sauna. What's that area called? What are you calling that?
Hour. It's hour.
Hour, sorry, hour. Do we get these treats there? Because I'm signing up.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I want
absolutely.
the
That would be paid
chocolate. Is that going to be a feature of hour? Because
a
I like
hundred
it there.
percent.
Put
Yeah.
me in.
Yeah, 100%. I'll make all the yummies. Basically this space is like it's a day retreat essentially, where I'm working out of at the moment. We're going to have the sauna on the deck. There will be cold plunge available. Looking at doing the foot detox that Shelley does. LED facials, all of that wonderful stuff.
And
So
we
it's
get to
coming.
stuff our faces with cacao and
And then
drink it. It's
cacao,
like,
cacao and
really?
tea. Tea is really important as well because teas do so much. I've learned so many good teas from you. And just education, coming along and having a sit down and having a chat and learning a little bit about your body and what you can do to support it because the natural plant kingdom is just full of ways that we can keep our health where it needs to be or improve it if we're down a bit of a hole, and we can actually get there really simply. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like you said, Georgia, you found cacao. That's cacao's what kind of brought you back. Like,
Brought me back to life, really. It helped so much with my nerves. I think that was the key thing. It just from a multitude of angles, the magnesium actually physically aided the neural muscular connection, I suppose you would say, because I had a real issue with my disc. It stopped me being able to walk at one point. So I had a lot of nerve impingement. I still have a slight wobble in my foot, but it's so much better because that connection has been forming. And then my relationship with pain has completely shifted. Not because I live without pain now, sometimes I'm still a bit sore, but my relationship with the pain from being able to be present and being relaxed means I'm not bothered by it and you can just kind of carry on. It doesn't become a big issue because I can regulate my nervous system essentially, and you've helped me a lot with that.
Georgia, a key thing which you've touched on, basically all of that pain is pumping out cortisol as well. So it's a stress hormone. And whether you're in pain like Georgia or just a busy mum, which the modern world is full of us, so we're all pumping out cortisol. The thing that I love, and sometimes, Georgia and I could talk about all the great things in terms of like she loves awake and breathing. She does, like Georgia's like, down with all the breath work and all the other things. And I say all the other things because actually, at the end of the day, and I see this as a practitioner, my job is to make things easy for people.
Yeah.
And sometimes I actually can't. There is no capacity for mum to actually spend 5 minutes breathing or 10 minutes with their legs up the wall. But because magnesium brings down cortisol, if mum has to eat anyway, or we've got to drink something, or we've got to do something, sometimes I am like, just have the cacao. Like, I can tell you all the nervous system things in the
Yeah.
world, but if you actually feel like, or just actually just don't have capacity or space to do it, it's actually pointless And we've got to bring, and this is why I love what you've brought to the market, Georgia, into the world. We've got to bring easy things for women to do that is actually going to help. So, what you're experiencing with the cacao is your body was pumping out so much cortisol because it was in so much pain, obviously, and rightly so, that there was no amount of breathing that was going to bring down that pain. And you were just draining. As you're pumping out more and more cortisol, you're draining more and more magnesium. And the very thing that your body needs to calm and heal and to actually not feel the pain is the magnesium. And so you're on this awful loop that sometimes breathing isn't going to get you out of because now you've depleted so much of that nutrient. We need to add it back in. And this is what I love about your philosophy in general, Georgia, but also SG Cacao is yes, have all those beautiful lifestyle rituals and hands up, I'm all for them. But I'm also, and we're both aware that life goes pear-shaped. Some days are great and some days are just an absolute write-off.
How
Yeah,
long did it take us to get here, Shelley?
right? Because of all the write-offs along the way, and we could bounce with them and move with it and feel into it and just pivot. But that's because we've got these lifestyle things, but we've also just got something simple like cacao and magnesium.
Yeah.
And so it's like there's no guilt or there's no being more righteous because you spend more time breathing or legs up the wall. It's like just practically find something. And even with SG Cacao, yes, have the beautiful ritual and all the things that George has taught you today, but it's also okay to literally put it in your, as I do, in the Nutribullet
Okay.
some days on the road and just start drinking it as you're driving the child screaming in the back to the thing or whatever it is.
Eat it from the pack. If you really can't be fucked, take it in the car with you and eat it from the pack. Like,
See,
it
Georgia,
doesn't matter.
that's what I love about
Get
it.
it in your body.
And that's absolutely it. And that's what I love about what you've created, Georgia, is you've created a solution on all the spectrum. From the like beautiful ritual side of cacao, all the things, to the like, my life is a shit show. I've just got to do something.
I just
You
need
know,
give me something nice.
yeah. So, Georgia, I'm very grateful, and I'm very grateful as you are a busy mum and you've got a whole heap of things to do for this. But I'm so grateful for you taking out this time right now to share all this information with us, share your passion, and really help us all learn more about it and embrace it. And we look what everyone needs to do. Everyone knows that I love a good bit of Instagram. You all need to, for Georgia's hard work of doing this, we want to be tagged, SG Cacao tagged with all your creations so we can see how you've made it. Because I think that's the best thing. Like the thing about bringing a creation to the market, like you have, Georgia, is when you get to see everyone make it and what you like.
And I tell you what, beautiful segue, Shelley. I would have forgotten entirely. This on the back says, because this is something that
Oh,
I really wanted to do. It says, we love our community. Tag us in your creations and rituals so we can share the love with our random packs of kindness. And what that is a pack for people randomly sharing or just randomly a turn up on your doorstep. I'm going to make sure that every month someone gets delivered something for tagging us just to say thanks because we are a little business and I've poured a lot of love into this product into even
absolutely.
into the bags like it's got a little they're
Georgia,
shiny.
you and Georgia, I just so appreciate that's like your time that you've taken to help us with this. And I think yes, you want to share the magic, but I think we all create things to see the person enjoy it. And so if
Yeah,
you get tagged,
I can
you
see that.
actually get to go into that moment with the person. And I think more than anything as a creator, that warms your heart the most because you're just like, ah,
Just
oh,
a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so I think that's the most, I think as consumers, it's the greatest gift we can give back to a creator, especially a creative person. People often like to be tagged and the energy of being tagged and all the rest of it. So that helps you create more. And also it's great feedback in terms of, you know what we like. Hint, hint, people, tag Georgia because then she's going to create the products you want. It's simple.
100%. Tell me how you like to use it. Tell me how you are using it. It means that I can create something that my community actually wants and is going to use because this has got me to this point for me. And that's been amazing. I knew that there would be other people like me that this would help. But now it's kind of like, what else does the community need as well?
So, Georgia, I really appreciate your time and I'm so grateful for helping me as your friend with my epic fail. And then going out and creating this whole and created. And that's the thing also about creators is it creates new opportunities. Like I failed, so then I'm talking to Georgia and now we're doing this.
Yeah.
So it's like it's never a fail. It's just a new version. Hey, Georgia, we just
Absolutely.
reinvent and I'll get it right for next time. But thank you so much, Georgia. I'm really, really grateful.
Well, thank you so much, Shelley. I really appreciate taking the time from your day as well and to bring me in because your community is really beautiful and heading in the way of health, and that's all we can hope for
And
each individual.
Georgia, I think we were some of the first ones to buy, weren't we?
Yeah, absolutely.